Hi, it's Cayman Reynolds, and welcome to tonight's live chat. We are getting close to the North American Honeybee Expo and all of the different events and activities and just crazy things that happens every year at our expo. So I hope you have some questions. We definitely have some announcements, reminders, and just we're excited. At this time of the year, what's done is done. Basically, we're sewing up a couple things last minute, but ultimately, what's done has been done at this point. And we have the hoodies in the merchandise. They look really cool. I always like trying a couple of new colors, and Chris helped us design some new designs. Laurel had a couple ideas on a couple designs as well this year, and of course, several vendors are doing some last minute things, maybe a little too last minute, some of you guys. And we already have semis showing up. Not very many, but we do have permission for some of the vendors to be able to go ahead and drop some off. And so things are getting real. And I'm excited to see you all again. Excited to see all the honey for the honey show and the confectionery side of it and all of the silent auction stuff. There's always several really unique things that are created. Several of the companies donate product too, and that's very nice. But a lot of times, the coolest part, the unique parts, are the individuals who bring creations of their own, and it's really neat. Of course, one of the newest things is the North American Honey Bar, the first and the really the only one. I say that because it's our name. We own the website and all the other things. And sometimes other people get confused about what they should do or not. I'm sure Chris is rolling his eyes right now. That's something behind the scenes. We have a lot of honey that's coming. Michael Palmer has sent his basswood honey. Bob Benny has donated multiple types of honey. We have other people who have donated sourwood, even spotter and lanternfly honeydew honey. We have Alaskan honey, tons of Canadian honeys. Apa Verte has helped us be able to source honey even from Newfoundland, Canada. And so we're going to have just stuff from the Yukon, just the most crazy, unique types of honey. White honey from Hawaii. Thanks, David Davenport on the Big Island, for bringing us some of that white honey, the Kiave honey. If you guys have never tried this, it's free for all attendees. And everyone who's donated to that, thank you so much. It is going to be one of the best new additions. I know you're going to love it. And thank you, Paula Messer, and everyone else who has worked on helping bring this about. So definitely be sure to take some time to do that over multiple periods. Okay, so Chris, you just sent me something. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. You're not supposed to interrupt me during the live stream like that, man.
It was actually more for Laurel's entertainment, not yours.
We'll send it to Laurel. Don't send it to me. I thought it was catastrophic and important because you wouldn't do that to me, would you? But you did.
I'd never do that.
Yeah, come on to the stage. You might as well now. You've kind of inserted yourself. Here we are. Hello, Chris.
Hello. Good evening. Good evening.
That's right. So, all right. Yes, you are allowed to bring a water bottle in your backpack, and you can have a backpack and a water bottle. There are some refillable stations there as well, but load it up on the water that you want, and then if you run low, there should be some multiple refillable stations near the bathrooms, just like what you see at the airport. Hey, Cam, I love that hairdo. Looks like you should be holding up a hamburger. Chris? Maybe it's time for you to get behind the stage again. You're
so good. All right, I got this one. Kenny, do you have that off? Like, do you have that handy? Our name tags? I don't have a name tag.
Oh, the name tags.
Do you have one handy?
I think Laurel had them earlier.
Okay. Kenny, so yes, there is a QR code on each name tag. But actually the QR code is for our sponsor, Larabi's. So that QR code is not for vendors to scan. Yes, Hova does have that feature. We are not using that feature currently. So the QR code is only for to take you to Larabi's website. It's not to collect any information. So
yeah, and
tell me what you got there.
So I have several things. First of all, this hairdo. which Frisch's Big Boys is a fantastic establishment. It's not what it used to be, unfortunately, but my grandpa would take me there a bunch, and we loved going there in Anderson, Indiana. Um, no, I don't need those. I actually need a name tag, but it's all
Well,
right.
hold on. Was it one of these? Someone's asking about pins and patches. I didn't know
No,
if you wanted to. Okay.
I have one of those. I had one around here somewhere. Everything just keeps getting packed, and honestly, my kids run off with a lot of the gadgets that I keep for myself because they want it, and that which is fine. Hey, Laurel, see if one of the kids knows where one of those pins are at. All right. Yes, thank you. Very dapper tonight. Expo shirts will be available, Dave. We have a few different designs. I think we have 3 different T-shirt designs this year, and then we have more hoodies because those are they sell out like every year. They're just very popular, and I wear mine all the time. They're a good size hoodie for Tennessee, anyways. They're a good medium weight hoodie. All right, let me pull this sucker up, and sorry, they individually wrap them. So these are pretty sweet. Yeah, you know what? There we go. It's like reversed, but those are pretty nice, and we'll have those at the show.
How does someone get one of those, Cayman?
Well, they can go to the merch booth, and just like with the T-shirts and the hats, and I think I haven't announced it, and I haven't told really anybody on my team either. So, surprise! But for all the people who are bringing honey to the honey bar on a Thursday, and the honey bar opens up Friday morning, and there'll be signs inside the honey bar booth that'll tell you the hours, but it'll start Friday, go all day, and then be most of the day Saturday. Well, it'll shut down a little bit before the end of the day because it does take a good bit of work to close that down. There's a lot of little pieces, but folks that bring in a couple jars or a jar to donate to the honey bar to help make it special, I got extra of these, one per family that brings some honey. All right. So Paula just said we can still take honey from Connecticut, Delaware, District of Columbia, Hawaii, Iowa, Maine, Massachusetts, Minnesota, Montana, Nebraska, New Mexico, Vermont, Washington, and I'm sure there's a few others as well. That doesn't mean we don't have honeys in some of those areas, but we do like to have some diversities. And what if there's only 1 pound from New York? Then that's a problem. Or New Mexico, excuse me. Hey guys, what number is the merch booth? Also, when and where do we drop off our honey swap bottles? And so, good question, Dolly. So, our merch booth is in the lobby. We're not in the trade show. There's just not room for us. We've talked about it. Plus, we get a lot of general information and various other needs, and it's just easier not being in there. So, when you start heading out of the trade show into to go towards the lectures, you'll see us on the right. We'll be on the right side of what's called Lobby A. And Chris, one thing that we could show,
yes,
essentially, is the maps for where people should drive to, where they need to access the vendors to pick up their product.
Yeah, let's do one thing at a time. What would you like me to go first?
Well, we have several questions, so let's get to folks' questions, and then we will go.
Okay.
So here's a question here, and yes, there will be food to purchase inside the expo. We have several food vendors. We don't really have any control over that, but it does look like they have a pretty good spread of options this year.
And I'm actually going to put together an image and post it tomorrow, but just to kind of give a verbal overview of everything. So there's a new company that's in charge of the food at the expo from years past. So almost all the food is different. I'll kind of give that blanket statement. There's a place called Steak and Cheese Sandwiches. They have Philly cheesesteaks. They have Philly burgers, jumbo hot dogs, curly fries. The hot dog place in the back is different this year. They're called Louisville Links. They have an Expo dog, an all-beef hot dog, a brisket coney dog. They have Bavarian pretzels and nachos. There's a Kettle Me Crazy. They have chopped brisket kettlers, pulled pork kettlers, and a classic kettler. And I don't know what a kettler is. I don't think it's kettle corn.
It's not kettle corn. We looked it up.
Yeah, it's Northwest.
But it should be interesting. There's a lot of different options.
Yep. So there's some grab and go sandwiches. There is a poultry place, fried chicken, chicken wrap, chicken salad, smoked pulled chicken sandwich. That actually sounds pretty good. Chicken salad, tender basket, smoked pulled chicken nachos, and then there is it Euler's ice cream. The ice cream place will be back as well. So I just received that information today, or late yesterday. So I will be posting that in an image tomorrow. I know some people have asked about that. So
nice. All right. So I'm looking right now, and I should be able to find it better, but I'm in a rush, and I'm nervous. Don't want to embarrass myself. My mother's probably watching tonight. There was a question of where do people bring their honey for the swap? Do you have? I guess we could show that in the map later.
Yeah, I can do that right now.
But it's B1010 or B110. 107. Mm-hmm. It's like a whole string of little rooms. So you have the lecture hall on your right-hand side, which is all your speaking rooms. And on the left-hand side, at the very beginning of that hallway, there are a bunch of little rooms, and that there will be a sign there. And we'll show you in the event guide. And the vendors and their vendor packets will get one of these as well. There is also information online. There we go.
So here's B107. So right across the hall here. So as someone was asking about the merch booth. So our merch booth is outside of the Expo Center here, the vendor hall. We have our merch booth. We have over here, it's actually larger than this. The honey bar will be right as you exit the doors into the vendor hall. Down here, it says Lobby 1. We'll actually have 2 booths down here. We will have a Sunny, the caricature artist, will be there. She will be drawing caricatures by interest, people coming over and stopping. So that'd be something really neat. So if family is there or friends or a couple and you guys want to get your caricature together, she'll be there. So that's in the lobby. The silent auction's here where it was last year, and this is down the lecture hall. So these are all the lecture halls here on the bottom. And then B107 is where the honey swap drop-off is. And I will say that all of this information is in the Hova app. So hopefully everyone on here tonight has that, because you can literally just type in honey swap and it'll give you the location. You can click on it. It'll show you on the map where it is. So it's very interactive.
And there's this information on the website as well. And most of you all who are watching this stay pretty in tune to what we do. And we've even been accused that's an unfair advantage to you all. I think it's, everyone has a choice on where they spend their time, and we appreciate that you spend your time with us. But the information's on the website. About this time of the year, almost every single day, someone says, you need to do a better job of creating this website to Chris. And that gets me very upset, because it's not that hard to find. I'm super inept at technology, and it's not that hard to find. There's a literal section called this and that and this and that that lays out everything. And so, it's North American Honeybee Expo. Peruse the website a little bit. There's a lot of stuff on there. Thank you. It is pretty awesome. This is our first year using an app. I think Chris has done a great job with it. Let me tell you, if I was running this thing without Chris's help, there wouldn't be an app for another decade. Just because I don't look into those kinds of things. Thankfully, I have a team that can think outside of my small areas of expertise.
Look, Amy's being nice to me tonight, so that's good.
Well, it is, especially compared to other bee conferences, and I know that's bee conferences is a low bar to clear. Like, I mean, it's so low that you're likely to trip over it. You won't even see it. And I'm not trying to pick on any bee companies out there, but bee conferences aren't renowned for their websites. But Chris puts a lot of work into it, and I think it's pretty
Thank
darn
you.
good. There's a
Well,
lot of stuff on there.
and we do, and really, I have been listening to lots of feedback. There's plenty of stuff that we can be doing better, that I can be doing better. So I do appreciate fair feedback.
Yeah,
one question we missed real quick. Gigi asked if we are sharing food with the garden show. So we can hit on this real quick.
No.
So during our expo, I'm going to zoom out here just a little bit. So this is the this where I'm moving my mouse here. This is the north lobby. So we're in South Wing Lobby A, and then these are our rooms here. But this giant lobby, the lobby that everyone checks into on the first day, that's the North Wing lobby. So off to our left here on the screen is the North Wing vendor hall. That's where the home and garden show will be. So they will be in their area. We do not share anything with them. I suppose we technically share the bathrooms, so the location in general. But they're not going to be coming into our area particularly. And unless you guys have tickets, we advise that you don't go into their area. That's that's not real considerate. So if you guys want to go support them and buy tickets, by all means, please do. They have a website. Their tickets are pretty affordable. I want to say it's like $15 or $20. They might have gone up since I looked last. But if you are interested, please go do that. I've heard it's really great. Or
if you have, maybe you're the one that's really into beekeeping and your spouse is just tagging along and doesn't really care that much. Again, it's all about trying to keep them happy too, so you can do your stuff. However, just know that they might spend your bee savings. All right, so we'll get to Dave's question next. I see a question from Dolly Rickman again on the silent auction. So when do we need to drop that off? And so we showed you the location of that. The times for that, I thought I had
silent
it pulled
auction.
Up. Yeah, the silent auction. I just pull that up real quick.
So we're taking things until Friday at noon.
Okay, so from the time the doors open to Friday at noon, and then the winners will be the silent auction will stop at Saturday at noon, if I remember correctly, and then at some point, I think it's an hour later, that's when people can pick up their items. And so just, if you're bidding for an item or two and you really are aggressive about it, just be watching it last minute, as a lot of people bid last minute, and also just be ready to pick it up. They're able to do a lot of different payment options. Of course, card is easy. They can do cash. I think check is the only one that they don't do.
Yep.
And so, yeah, that's a good one. Dave Rowden. So how many tickets have sold so far, and how does that compare to previous years? So we are going to be doing quite a bit better. Last year, we had a great year. It was our best year yet, and that was just under 2,900 attendees. That doesn't include our staff, the VIPs, the vendors, anything like that. With all of that included, that was about 3,500 and change. And so this year, we're about 3,400 almost. We're not quite there, but we're getting really close to that number. Based off of what we're doing per day and also day of tickets, we're going to be really close to that 3,500 number. And so 3,500 attendees will be an increase of about 550 to 600 additional beekeepers. Awesome. And then we also have a lot of vendor staff and stuff. So there's no question at this point that we have crested the 4,000 number for the first time in total people there. So woo, logistics. But the vendors obviously are excited. And what's good about this for, I think, everybody is the vendors see this, and every year they invest more into it. We've seen some really good deals leading up to the show. I want to give a shout out real quick to some of the folks while it's on my mind. So, Dadent's the back cover on this, and they're one of our platinum sponsors this year. And they've got 15% off. Well, it says Extractor's 20% on this magazine. So that's awesome. 20% off of smokers, woodenware, all that kinds of stuff. And that's just one of the companies. They have a massive booth, and what their platinum sponsorship covers is the popcorn buyout. And so for those, many of you already know, but we have popcorn that's free for everybody. And we are going and getting this. It's like, it's going to take a 6 foot tall, 12-foot trailer space just to house the popcorn, not including all the other stuff for the popcorn. And so this is just a massive amount of popcorn. You could jump in it like Scrooge McDuck and just swim through this amount of popcorn. They won't let us do that.
Sean would love to do that.
Yeah, I'm sure Sean would, but he doesn't get to. He's going to be busy serving coffee. So thanks to Dadent for doing that. So we do have a lot of snacks for folks that aren't feeling like a full-blown meal but would like something. And for someone like me, who I do like some muffins and cookies, we are doing that again this year, and that is coming through Naroa. And I want to say a big thank you to Naroa as well for that. I can only have so much sweets, and I really prefer salty. Popcorn, pretzels, that's kind of more my thing. And so this is a nice option for someone like me. I'll definitely be partaking in the popcorn, just not right before a lecture. Popcorn is absolutely the worst thing before you get up on stage.
A quick pause. So Todd asks about people being able to be dropped off at the gates. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to get an answer for this. I'd love. Well, there I go. I'd love to be able to get an answer for you. It just keeps going. I'd love to be able to get an answer for you, but as of right now, we don't have one. Yeah.
Well, and we listen.
The parking people.
I'm gonna
difficult.
Take Chris's side. This is where I get annoyed because I see what we're doing. A lot of people don't, so they don't know. And Todd's not being like this at all. So I'm not singling you out at all. It's these organizations just I don't care. I don't think that's the only thing I can figure is either they don't care. I mean, okay, you're understaffed, but we let you know some of the stuff 6 months ago, 7 months ago. How long does it take? A year in advance, 2 years in advance?
While we're talking possible issues, we've had a couple. Cayman and I are not trying to bury this story. I know some people have kind of, but hotels. So people have booked hotels through our website. So how it works is that Louisville Tourism, we partnered with them this year. So they kind of have taken the brunt of the issues. And so what happens is Louisville Tourism captures everybody's tickets, purchases, and then they go to the hotel and say, okay, you get those names, you get those names, you get those names. And what we have found out is that, and I'm not joking when I say this, that multiple hotels, just the ones that we're using, have had complete staff complete staff flips in the last 7 months. So they don't even know anything about our expo. They don't know anything about us, our contract, what's going on, or anything. And that might be easy for some to believe. Cayman and I are having a hard time with it. So all to say that please be patient. We are trying to help everybody. There's been a couple people who the hotel can't find their reservation. Louisville Tourism has all of that. Mm-hmm. The hotels have had a big difficulty in taking the reservation, holding the reservation. If you're a Seinfeld fan, you know what I'm talking about. So
they're just struggling a lot. We'll
bear with us.
Very nice.
Yeah, I promise we're not trying to cover anything up. We know some people have been having trouble, but I don't want anyone to panic. Everyone's stuff is not gone. It's just for whatever reason these hotels are having a difficult time. So if you are having a difficult time with a hotel, Louisville Tourism, the same. Go follow the website. That's the people to get a hold of. If they give you a runaround, please reach out to us and we'll help the best we can.
Well, it's good that after 6 years of doing this, that it's the same story this time of year. Every time the hotel's experience sucks. I don't care if this gets back around to the hotel people, because I will be getting around to some of their managers after this is over. What do we have to spend millions of dollars at their hotels in order to get good service? Um, I guess hundreds of thousands from the attendees isn't enough. If anyone is looking for a way to invest millions of dollars, because I know we have tons of attendees that are just loaded, because and that's why you got into beekeeping, is to get more loaded. I would love to start a hotel supply chain. I think we could totally beat the competition and beat the brakes off these people. All you have to do is show up and do good work.
Wouldn't be tough. Yeah.
It's pretty low bar to clear. What is it with things in the United States? Just everything's a low bar to clear. I think it's a sign of the times.
We're going through it.
We're going through, and we try not to be like that at our show, though. And I think that's what's so aggravating, is we aren't perfect people, and we know that. But you guys are paying good money to come to a great show, and we're going to give it to you. And we try to make the best show in beekeeping. And those of you, several of you, who've been with us for 3 years, 4 years, some of you even every year that Laurel and I have run a conference, which is 6 years now, and Chris has almost been there the entire time, 5 years for him. You expect it to be better. You expect some growth. Why wouldn't you? And there's a lot of opportunities to still do. I don't understand companies that don't have that hunger.
Here's the great. We're going to end this on great news. Cayman and Cayman and the family and myself. We haven't had surprise guest Clayton. We got to hang out this weekend for a little while at the Crown Plaza. It is in the air. It is not buried under rubble. It is not under construction. I will say we ate at the restaurant. I really
enjoyed it.
I won't say it's some like 5-star Michelin restaurant, but it was not.
Well,
it
I've never
wasn't
been
McDonald's.
to one of those, so I don't know.
But the food, and I mean this seriously, the food was good. It tasted good. It was warm. The service was fine.
It was hot.
They have what?
Warm sounds terrible.
Oh, sorry. Well, piping hot. I mean, it was. It wasn't cold. It wasn't cold. It was the opposite of cold.
Even God said lukewarm is the worst.
Oh, dear Lord. But if you're a big bourbon fan, they have a whole Cayman's kiddos were looking at the menu and they're like, "Is that all that stuff on the back wall? It takes up like the whole menu." And it really does. They probably have over 50 different kinds and bottles and stuff. So if that's your jam, at least, Al's Table at the Crown Plaza. So
and the place is full of beekeepers. So those of you who are coming, if you're wanting to talk bees afterwards, you are going to have your fill. However, you might be competing for dinner spaces at that place as well. But there's tons of amazing restaurants in the vicinity, really close, within a mile or two, and a lot even within just a few more miles. So Al's Table I thought was good. The prime rib was excellent. The fish and chips was good. Laurel really liked it. The kids got chicken tenders. The kids' meal, gosh, there was like 2 pounds of fries.
Huge, and the fries were some of
my
favorites.
Yeah, those were amazing fries. And so, but there's several other good options out there. So we don't want to. Let's get off the hotel thing. Hotels are frustrating. They always are, and they probably always will be, unless we open up the Laurel Resorts or something like that.
Don't make Laurel work that hard. Call it the Jeremy Resorts. I'd rather have Jeremy work.
Hey, I love that logo, Water Oak. I really do like that. It's very classy. Looking forward to hearing from you after the show on what you thought of it, because the response we're going for is it wasn't quite long enough. Wish we could have stayed another week. We definitely don't wish we were there another week. Chris would die. But we definitely want you to have a good experience.
Hey,
we hear Dave Hansberry every year, same song.
I don't have his honey next to me. We got to hang out with Dave.
I saw Dave last week, something like that.
3 days ago.
3 days ago. It's really hard to keep track at this point. It's been, we've been putting 2 days into one. Yeah, the weather looks great right now. So let's get back to some questions. Actually, I got to finish up with this right here. So,
sorry, go ahead.
Platinum sponsors, Dayton, Hilco, Larrabee's, and Rossman. So, Larrabee sponsoring the lanyards yet again this year. We talked about that a little bit, and the name badges. Hilco is the sponsor of the Honey Show. And
I don't know, whatever.
and then Rossman, once again, our coffee and tea and this year hot chocolate sponsors. And I want to say a big thank you to Copper Canyon, who really works with us on making it affordable to where we can do that. I actually just got to pay for the buyout yesterday. Technically, it was this morning because we didn't get it till yesterday, and I had a full day, and so I got to do it on New Year's. Thank you, catering service. Okay, I got to move off of that.
Hold on. You got to show the cover. That's the best part. You got to do a little.
Yeah, there's got to be some surprises at the show, like when they realized how much shorter you are than me. And Man Lake is doing their shipping department and sponsoring several other things as well. Obviously, I said Naroa did the muffins. Premier is sponsoring several things, and the 14-day beekeeper, and that is Lawrence Edwards of Black Mountain Honey. He's going to be one of our speakers as well. He has the 14-day beekeeper, which is a program for beekeepers who are really trying to be very consistent and keep their bees alive and do a small market or possibly more. Several other great sponsors there. Be sure to stop by their booths. All right. So excited. Okay. Hey, Angela, thanks for coming back. I'm glad to have you again. Chris, let's get back to some questions. I'm sure there's several down here.
Yeah. Good. Sean, you know what? If you want to know, this is for everybody. Who was that? One of the speakers. Oh, it was Kara Ching. Kara Ching posted in the Hova app, or actually it was on Facebook. But also, I would recommend on the Hova app, you can post a message in there and say like, never been to Louisville. Where's your favorite place to eat, or where's a great place to grab coffee before the expo, or whatever you might want to do. There's what is it? It's about 1,600 people in the group right now on the app, and so a lot of people will give some feedback. So I definitely recommend asking that. Well, listen, I know some people don't like to go to the. Some people don't like Sean's too good coffee, so it's fantastic. So.
Well, if you're wanting some of the dirt coffee, if you grew up on that, where it's like not even 100% coffee and it's some sawdust that they've kind of roasted with it, then yeah, this is not going to taste right to you. This is actually real beans roasted like 2 days before the event.
See, look at it. Look, see, we already have the ideas coming. Yeah, so I mean it. Get into. There's several different places this awesome community is at. So please post that question somewhere, and I am confident that between downtown Louisville and the outskirts, there are many, 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 many good places. So,
well, thanks, you. We're trying to. Mostly Chris and Laurel are the attention to detail people. I'm the one that makes the promises, and then they try to figure out how I don't lose face because I can't keep them. I am getting better with details, but we have a lot of plans and a lot of goals. I'll share some of that with you all at the opening ceremony and in the future. Not right now, Chris.
Let's wait more promises.
North American Honeybee Expo, Australia. What do you think? That sounds expensive. As far as I don't even want to do the North American Honeybee Expo in California. It's just so far away, logistically speaking. But no, I think it would be kind of fun to see this. And we've already seen other groups start their own things. There's a Midwest Honeybee Expo. After our show, I'll be speaking there as one of the keynote speakers. And
we're good, guys. Yep. We're good.
Say what?
No, keep going.
And so they're doing a privatized conference, and I think there's opportunity in other countries for other people to do this. It's not going to be easy, and you know what? Hey, I'm going to do a plug right here. I've never done this before, but if anyone wants to start a conference and wants to pay Chris and I to do a lecture for their group, we would do that. Some people are like, why not just do it for free? Because we are very busy. And, we have almost not sold our souls to the devil, because I never do that. But border as close as you can get in order to get the information and the experience that we have. It's been very tough, but I think there's a lot of opportunity out there. I think outside of the bee industry, there's opportunities as well. You having some issues over there, Chris? Some more dumb
No,
emails coming through?
nope, we're good. Nope, nope, nothing here.
Yeah, you're lying.
We're good.
Somebody today just found out. I'll stop.
Yeah, just let it go.
One more, but this is what's
one more.
Yeah, this is what's really hard though. Because we're trying to be people pleasers. Chris and I like people. We want to like everybody. We want to build a show that people are going to love and enjoy. There's 4,000 plus total people going to be here. It's impossible. That's the toughest thing with putting yourself on social media and doing these conferences is you can just do the best thing that you know how to do, and it's just not enough for some people. And they just guilt trip you and and they'll send you pictures of their kids. So I can't believe that you're charging my child $50 for a ticket. And they'll just send you pictures of their children, just look what you're doing to my family. And they'll send that to Chris, and it just makes me so mad. It makes my blood boil. And then we have people who today send us messages that, we've been looking for the workshops like a hawk, and we just realized today, and they're sold out. I'm like, you were not looking like a hawk for the workshops if you just now discovered them today. And basically said that we were incompetent and a few other odds and ends.
And something, and again, without going in too far into the weeds, because it's in the weeds, but something this year, I think the biggest thing we've had to fight this year are ways to reach the ticket holders. Our emails don't go through as well as we want. Facebook has been very difficult this year. Every day they change new stuff, and stuff doesn't
Facebook
sort.
It's
and
terrible this year.
And so, you're danged if you do, you're danged if you don't.
Well, check your emails, by the way. Chris has been sending emails. If you're doing a workshop,
emails yesterday, everybody. 1,400 emails yesterday.
So, he's been sending them for weeks and other capacities too. So yeah, if you got a dinner ticket, check your email. It might go to your promotions or your spam, and that's part of the problem is we cannot control that at all. And we definitely need folks to watch out for their email for other information, just to make it easy for you. We're trying to get this out, but again, check your emails, check your promotions, do all that stuff. Chris has been sending all this stuff out. So VIP dinners and also workshops. If you did those things, you should have an email and be looking for that. Can you talk about this again? Will there be online access to all the talks? I can't possibly get around to all of them. Well, nobody can. You'd have to be 3 people.
A time turner.
That's right. So yeah, you will be. We do have the videos just like we have in the past, where if you buy a ticket, you get access to them. And before anyone asks, if you're a vendor or if you're a honey judge or anything like that, we are going to have a special price for you guys that we are going to have. Some of the vendors feel like they should get it too, but some of the shows I go to, vendors pay $1,500 for a 10x10. So, I mean, we can always lump it into the price. Hey, thanks for the positive feedback. And we understand that the show doesn't fit everybody's budget, and that, from year to year, some people aren't buying a whole lot of gear. They're probably smarter than the rest of us. I mean, this is probably the lightest year that I've done on purchases, and I've got like 1,000 frames, 1,000 foundation, about 1,000 jars from Hidden Hollow, and a few other odds and ends along the way. So this is a light year for me, but it's kind of a lifestyle. I started at 14, and I don't know how much I've invested into the bee industry, but it's a lot. I don't really want to know. It'd be maybe a little depressing.
Hey, real quick, I just want to answer this. Yeah, so AI is fantastic. Cayman and I use AI for a couple things. I know a lot of other people do.
Mostly Chris.
But AI, if you haven't found out yet, AI is not the solution. Again, with the large number of emails that I send every day to everybody. If I let AI answer those emails, y'all would be running up the side of a cliff with no bridge at the end. AI is great. It's a great jumping off point. Again, I use it for a lot of things, but to let it answer all the emails that everybody asks, it's not going to happen. Hold on. I do want to hit on this real quick. Thank you, Eric, for saying something. You know, our staff is everywhere. We'll have our lanyards on. If you don't know who our staff is, you know, you should, or if you see Cayman or I, if you guys see anything like this, you know,
help
there's
us
a lot
track them down.
Yeah, there's a lot of conversation between. I saw someone say, "Hey, the tickets should be free to the expo." You know, that the vendor should pay for that. And Cayman and our team really try to balance the. You know, we don't want to be charging vendors $10,000 to come. That would really eliminate probably
it eliminate
75% of the companies.
All the mom and pop shops, the small companies will be the ones that you'd lose, and you just have the big boys.
Yep, and that's great. And those big boys and big girls are really important, but so are the other 75%. So we really try to balance what we charge vendors, what we charge attendees, the workshops. I mean, remember the honey show, the honey swap, the honey label swap, the North American Honey Bar. All of those things are free to attendees.
Yeah. And there's a lot of money that goes into them. You know, just if we have to get 2 staff members for the honey bar, let's just say that's all they do the entire time is just the honey bar logistics. Well, 2 hotels right there for a whole week. I mean, that's a pretty good bit. And then we take them out to dinner. VIP dinners are like $70 a piece for us. And then, you know, various other things. Some of them are getting paid, and you know, it just depends on the roles that they have, but it adds up really quick. Now, one thing that we could look into, and I have no skills in this, is you could get a conference sponsor, and the conference would be sponsored by probably somebody from outside of the bee industry, because you need somebody who's got a ton of money and be like, okay, we're going to drop 6 figures on this event because we just think Cayman's so amazing and good looking and charming. We should just throw our money at him. And then I can lower the ticket prices based off of that. But I don't know if anyone's interested in doing that. And I heard someone say VIP. Who's Zach? Is this a new guy?
I heard he's our new volunteer. He's going to hold the door open for everybody with his dough.
Oh, I don't want Zach as a door greeter. Zach's one of my buddies. He's a commercial beekeeper in Hawaii. And if you've seen some of my old videos, Zach is in a few of them on my trip to Hawaii. How is the honey bar going to be set up? So you got it?
No, I said, hi, Zach.
Oh,
you talk about your honey bar. You're excited about it.
I am excited about it. It's going to be a nice little feature and just fun. So the honey bar is going to be a rectangle. And then on the outside perimeter, there's going to be some very short pipe and drape. It'll just kind of be sectioned off to itself. And there's going to be a nice big arch on one end that'll say the North American Honey Bar. Chris did a great job designing it.
Super excited.
And I'm excited for everyone to see that. And then within that, there's going to be the Kentucky State Beekeepers Association. I want to say a big thank you to them because they are the sponsor of the North American Honey Bar this year, helping us afford the big investment of doing that this year. And, you know, Paula Messer, thank you for Paula being our coordinator. She has put a ton of work into it. So if you've done that, you've probably emailed Paula or talked to her about it. And she's with the Palm Beach County Beekeepers Association down there and does a lot with Florida beekeepers, especially in the far southeast. So essentially, we're going to set up each state and Canadian province, and we may even have some from out of country, like Australia. I've got a Victor of Hive IQ's daughter, Fia, bringing some Australian honey. And we really want something that's a container that's around a pound. Mostly we need access. So pretend this was a liquid honey. It can be a natural crystallized honey as long as it's not a hard set honey. I mean, you got to be able to use a little, you know, scoop for it. And we don't want people breaking things trying to get honey out of it and having to fight for it. But a jar like this with a decently wide mouth, you know, something as small as this or as big as a pound or maybe even a little bit bigger. just a good sampling jar that has easy access. And we're trying to get 2 to 3 types of honey from each state, each province, and location, because as you all know, in your state, there's a lot of variables within the not only the colors but the flavors of honey. So we would like each region to be able to be well represented. So far, we're doing a pretty awesome job. Not every state is going to be represented, I don't think, this year. I think there's going to be a couple we're going to miss. And there's going to be a few states that we're light. But I want to say a big thank you again to Bob Benny, Michael Palmer, Andy Strelo, and his son Ethan Strelo, who are commercial beekeepers in South Dakota, who sent a bunch of honey. Also, Blake Shook with the bee supply is bringing honey up. Oh, goodness. And we have Robin Underwood and another gentleman who is bringing spotted lanternfly honey. And of course, we have just tons of honey from all kinds of different places. Well, I know I'm missing several individuals, but we have well over 100 different varieties of honey. So it's just going to be awesome. And it's just walk on in, sample, and do it multiple times, because you'll probably won't want to try 100 all in one go. So maybe come in and go, I've always wondered what sourwood tastes like. Let's go for it. And then you try that. Maybe you try a few more. And then you maybe give it a break and come back. Oregon, Arizona, Idaho, Nevada, Utah, and Rhode Island.
Come on, people. Come on, people.
We need an Oregon donor. Come on.
Oh, boo.
Come on. I had an opportunity there. Those don't just come by every day.
Those grow on trees around here. I get the dad. I've mastered the dad jokes already. It's great.
I have a 13-year-old daughter. I'm right now in peak form when it comes to dad jokes. All right, what was the previous question?
Talking about the sampling.
Coffee sipper stirrer sticks. Yeah. And
the little wooden ones.
Yeah, we're doing some wooden ones. We really wanted to get a plastic option as well. That we were looking at some that were actually biodegradable, more natural plastics, but they're too brittle. They just
super tough.
Even just regular honey, like not crystallized at all, not even thick honey, and they'd break. I just okay, that's not a liability.
Cayman, what kind of honey did you have there? You got to do a little show and tell. You got to do a little tasting on camera here for everybody.
Okay, so I met up with Dave Hansbury, and he's helping us at the show. There's some things that we needed to leave up at Louisville on this trip, and Chris brought down the event guides, the staff guides, several other things. It does, and we know, and unfortunately, we have not found a good option. Please share one with me, because there has been some like little bitty spoons, but that doesn't work very well. And so here, I'll get to that one with Ricky here in a second. But
yeah, you're good.
So for those of you who are bringing a 1-pound plastic squeeze jar or something similar to that, that's going to be a pain for us. And we're thankful that you're bringing it. But what's going to happen with that is we've got to drain that out of there into a bowl, because I think it would be a poor idea to have people picking them up, because there's 4,000 people and there's a possibility of somebody being sick, even if they don't realize it. And so they're picking up these jars, they're squeezing them onto sampling spoons. And there's three things that are going to happen. One, we could spread germs that way. Two, we're having to use those little sampling spoons, which is going to be about 3 to 4 times the amount of honey that we really need to be sampling per container, because we want to make sure the honey goes as far as it needs to for everyone to try it. And then also, I think there's a lot more chances of spills happening with people grabbing jars, the more that they're grabbing and moving things. So we're going to have to put that into bowls. So anyone that could put their label on a pint jar or something similar instead of a squeeze bottle that's bringing it, that would be really helpful to our team. But we do have measures to be able to deal with that. But yeah, this is our first year doing it, and we're going to learn a lot from it, and it will definitely be greater and better the following year. It's that's part of what it takes to grow as a conference and as a beekeeper and as an industry. So we are expecting all of you guys to try new things. Just don't do anything too crazy. Leave that to weirdos like Chris.
Sure.
All right. So there was that Ricky question about the nuke.
He was loving you up.
You know, we don't get enough of this, Chris. I'm just going to bask in this for one moment.
Yeah, do it.
So after the conference is over, we will be selling Nucleus colonies again. I need to sell down my hives because Laurel says I have too many, and we are going to try to just stay at 60 production hives and 60 backup hives. Hopefully Laurel's not watching this. And so I really want to run more colonies than that, but we don't have the manpower. We want to focus on building this industry up. There needs to be more people volunteering and helping in this industry. And it's not just about volunteers. It's also about some of I think the bigger organizations really need to come up with some new creative ideas. We're still operating decades in the past, and that needs to change. Oh, crap. Laurel saw it. But Ricky, I do appreciate you saying that. We want to produce calm bees. We did have one person who emailed that had a very aggressive hive, but we sold over 700 Nucleus colonies. And
yes, you did.
yeah. And so out of that number, you're always going to get a couple no matter what you do. And so we were able to get her taken care of and make it right with her. But most people are finding that the bees did really well for them. Several people produced honey their first year, especially northern beekeepers. We anticipate to have the first round of nukes available the first week of April, maybe some slightly earlier than that. So just be on the lookout after the expo. Email us, and we'll also be putting something out there for you to see. So, Chris, you have something to share with the folks.
Good. Rod, I'm glad that worked out for you. Yeah, just real quick. I share this map. This is the map I made specifically for truck drivers, but it will apply to lots of people. Lots of people here. Most people are going to enter at gate 1. For the record, the Crown here is where it says like lane. That's actually the Crown Plaza Hotel. It's literally that close. You'll go in gate 1, and the general public will park here in lot N and lot A. If for whatever reason it is full, should not be. I'm just giving a worst case scenario in case we end up getting 1,000 people that show up to the expo the day of. Hopefully Laurel's not listening. E1 and E2 in the back here. Or heck, if you just want to go back there because you want to get front row parking in the back, go ahead and go right around to the back. And where the star is, this is the Skywalk entrance. There's an escalator up, and there is a Skywalk across the north wing into the north wing lobby to us. So it's right there, just as general parking. If you're someone coming with a trailer or you need to load up on supplies or anything like that, right here where the star is, that is where you're going to go to pick things up. Yes, he sold 700 nukes last year and some whole hives as well.
Right. So, and I will say we have a couple options. Some of these are my nukes. Last year we had some nukes that had Corey's queens in them, and then some of them were from a buddy of mine. And and we let you get the option. The earliest ones are from somebody else, and so I can't produce nukes at the end of March unless they're overwintered nukes, and I just don't have enough for demand. But we do check all of those bees. We know what the genetics are. We know everything about it. We even know how the combs are, and they're very nice combs. And so we just try to do right by the customer. But we're also going to be honest with you on where we source them and what's ours and what's not. We just don't.
Let me get back to this.
No.
Yeah, we have people asking questions about it.
Well,
way to change the subject. I know, right? Like, welcome to a meeting with Cayman.
I know.
Hold on. You wait with your spoon now. Hold on.
You said I need to say something about it, and I never circled back around because I'm like I just can't. I can't focus.
I know.
This expo's killing me. So, Dave Hansberry, I'm gonna give him a little shout out. I've tried a lot of his creamed honey, and I also wanted to do a couple other shout outs as well. But Dave produces, this is creamed peanut butter. I haven't tried it yet, but I have tried like
really
that.
good.
The honey, like apple crisp one that he produces, and I love apple and cinnamon. It is really, really good.
This
And I want
one's
to say
better.
thanks
I like
for
this
letting
one.
us store that stuff over at your place. And then I think everybody should be really looking into this in the future. If you're thinking about running a sideline business uh, or running a business, I think you just got to look into creamed honey. Creamed honey is starting to become more and more popular. And at the show, we have Kevin Monfell as one of our VIPs. He's speaking on creamed honey. We also have Josh Hager, who's been one of our staff in the past with Bearded Bee Works. He's going to be on one of our panels. He also has a booth. And then Kevin Monfeld owns Bee Bum, him and his wife, and they produce really great creamed honey. We have some new units launching at the show this year. Thorn Manufacturing has a new creamer, and then also Cream Pal has a new creamer as well. And I really think the bee industry needs to be looking at this a little bit more seriously, because creamed honey, a lot of the guys that I know that are doing a lot of sales, they're selling a lot of creamed honey. Several of them are close to not 50% now of their sales are creamed honey, flavored cream honeys. They're just really popular. But you got to think of the American market. Everyone's into pumpkin spice this. I mean, heck, I was watching Chris drink some Rocket Pop flavored twisted tea or something a handful of months or so ago. And I'm not like that. I'm like a Lay's potato chip type person. Like, just
I love my twisted tea. All right, keep going.
well, I mean, but it's the flavors and
I
stuff.
know it's really good.
With,
Oh yeah, it's too good.
Weirdo. But there's a lot of weirdos like Chris, and that's what you have to realize. And so you want to sell to those people. I'm a terrible customer because I want a potato chip, extra salt. That's about it.
Okay, Grandpa, go ahead. Do your honey review.
That was it.
No, you didn't try your honey yet. That's the whole purpose. You got that spoon.
All right. And now let's sample this Canadian honey here. Just kind of calm your mind and sense all of the smells and the tastes. That is really sticky. All right, Chris. I just needed that for my throat. I wasn't really going to do what I just did. I was just needing that for my throat.
Well, what did you think about the peanut butter? Was that the peanut butter one? That looked a lot liquidier than the peanut butter.
No, that wasn't the peanut butter one. Why did you think I was going to sample the peanut butter one? I never said I was going to sample that.
Because you show.
I'm sorry, guys.
That's what you were showing off. And
if you're wondering why stuff for the show sometimes doesn't get done, it's because this stuff happens during the day.
Okay, hold on. Okay. Oh, now we're talking here. Yeah, you're not. Paul is going to be on you. Oh my goodness. Pete, if you were talking about the I'm still crying over here. If you were talking about the 2 dinners that we, the Expo, are organizing, again, there are several dinners that several awesome groups are doing. We are hosting 2 of them. They are both at the Crown Plaza. And you should have received an email about the general information. We have a meeting tomorrow, which hasn't been set yet. But tomorrow we have a meeting with the hotel on all the specifics of it. Okay, let's zoom in. You don't like it? Oh, get out of here.
No, I was just taking my time to analyze all the flavor profiles. I just don't throw it in my mouth and go.
Oh, okay.
No, it's really good. You you can't taste much of the honey, but the peanut butter and all that's really good.
Rod, us Ohio, we got to stick together. These Tennessee folk, these people from Indiana, the new, now they were a basketball school. Now they're a football school. Woo! Yeah. Okay.
Beat the darn Roll Tide. I tell you, I've always been an Indiana fan. You've known that. I was born in Indiana.
Yes, you were. We have 2 dinners planned at the Crown Plaza. We will be sending out one additional email to say what room it's in. It's in the building somewhere. It's not that big of a building.
They're still
Amy's
waiting to
with
get
us.
back with us. Yeah.
Amy's with us. Go Ohio people. Amy knows what's up. So.
Yeah. Ohio people are great. Yeah, just not the
good
football team this year.
Lord. I don't even know who this is. Oh, Matt Campbell's going to turn that program around. It's all good. Okay.
So I wanted to say, hey, Jose, thanks for hopping in tonight. And yeah, shipping is crazy. And so whenever anyone's shipping that into the show, obviously last minute, there's just no way to get it cheap. And we appreciate you thinking about us. And next year we'll find a way to work with you on all that and whatnot. But several people just put in a general box, put it in the mail, and they paid triple what they should have. I mean, there's a couple of these boxes that are this big, and it was $60.
Okay.
And it just about broke my heart. And so a US.
No, keep going.
USPS is the best way to do it, to my knowledge. I think you can get like 4 2-pound 2-pounders in there in the certain size USPS box for around $20, and there's some cheaper options as well. And so obviously we would prefer you bring it in person or have one of your buddies bring it, but sometimes it just doesn't work. And hey, we started this thing like maybe 2 months ago.
Right. Also, advice came in. You kind of skipped over this, but putting 4 glass jars next to each other without any padding also doesn't work overly well in the mail.
My post office is not a fan of mine right now, and I didn't even do it. I actually used to be in packaging, and then I went and worked for UPS and learned how to destroy said packaging. And then I started working drove for Averett, unloading Dollar General, and they don't even know what a liner is, much less what packaging is. Dollar General, cheapest redneck establishment the world has ever seen. And so I guarantee you I've destroyed 6 figures worth of product in my career just because there's no cushion. But this honey busted in the post office, and the woman thankfully was driving a truck that day. And so she brought it, and it was one of those 70-degree days that we just had around Christmas. And of course, I'm a beekeeper. So what do you think happened to all that honey? Just bees all over it. And she freaked out a little bit, but she did all right. They put it on the porch, and then I got stung stepping on a bee, stepping out on the porch. Rather that than glass. And but there was not any padding in there at all. Not even paper. I couldn't believe it. But we do appreciate it.
Yeah. Okay, real quick. Let me hit back to this so we can hammer this out. So somebody asked about Beeline and Hilco. Yep, thank you. Beeline and Hilco. So they will have a dedicated door for pickup. That door is aha! It's like I planned it. Wait. Well, I gotta show everyone my new Expo folder.
If you weren't so productive, Chris.
Okay. The door. So I came prepared. You if I had a nickel for every time I had to look at this. So just bear with me here. Hold on, bear with me. Okay, so woo. So this is North Wing lobby. Excuse me. This is the North Wing room. Here's the North Wing lobby. So we are here in the South Wing A. This is the main part of the Expo. We also use the East Hall A and East Hall B. You guys, you don't need to know that. I'm just showing you that these are together. So John Hill and Beeline will have this door right here. It is a flat drive-up door. The number of the door is E7. I am sure that John will give that info. If I click this, does it go back? Oh, look at that. I'm sure that John will be able to describe that more. So E7 is E7 is where Beeline and Hilco only pickup is at. Everyone else still has the same pickup in the back. We have dock access. We have pull-up access. No one is losing access. John sponsored Hilco John Hill, Hilco, sponsored a large portion of the expo and paid for his own little dedicated spot. So John has door E7 just for Hilco and Beeline items.
Yeah.
So if you're going
honestly,
for that, he'll be able to help you there.
And that'll make it easier on the other companies too, because just the less congestion, the better. So it should be better for attendees and for vendors as well. So that's what we're hoping for. I just drank a little bit of my tea and there's something wrong with it. I'm like, man, this is just really weak. And then I realized Laurel didn't put a tea bag in it and she had stuck the tea bag next to it. And I just drank hot water. I tell you what, with this economy that we're just having to water everything down.
You're saying the coffee doesn't come in the carafe, just water?
That's right. And so we were at Cracker Barrel with Clayton. He was wanting his coffee topped off, and she poured water into it. The girl was busy, and she did a great job. We all have a brain fart every now and then. And she went to top it off, but she used the water one, and she didn't notice at first. He's like, "Is that good?" And he's like, "Well, you kind of watered down my coffee there."
Yep.
And it was she felt so bad, and
I think it was Bethany. She like 2 thumbs up though. Like you don't want to have anyone other than Bethany. So where the yellow star is here, the gold star, yellow star, that is where the loading docks are at. Those have not changed. So if you are a vendor watching today, I have sent this map to you now at least twice. So again, you come in gate A, you immediately take a right, and then right here, not far after the building, right when you get to the corner of the building, there is a sign up. It says South Wing Loading Docks. You want to take a left and go that way. For anyone who hasn't been to the KEC yet, traffic only goes counterclockwise. So if you miss that turn here, you need to go all the way around. And it is pretty far. It's like a 3, 4, 5 minute drive, but if you just keep going all the way
4
around,
minutes. Yeah.
And I say this in all seriousness and sincerity, there are cameras up around the facility. So if you drive through the gate, they will come after you. If the Kentucky Kingdom is open while we're there, they do have like little traffic cops there. If you blow through that or God forbid hit them, there's like real life consequences. So I hopefully don't have to say that. Just that's my one time saying that and just saying be good stewards
and it's
of the
good
conference.
that they have good security there because we've never had so far any experiences with products getting lifted from the vendors there to our knowledge or from us, and the security's always been really good there, and that's the way we'd like to continue to see it. That's one of the reasons why we're at this location is it has a fence and it has security guards and it's kind of like own little island within Louisville. And there's a lot of parking spaces. So people are going to be parking a lot in and lot A typically. If you're, someone who's younger like me and you're or really fit, or if you're 70 years old and you're still really fit, because I know several of those too, park a little further away because some people aren't quite as much. And then if you have a trailer, park it out towards the back, please. I know it's a little bit of a long walk, but first of all, it just prevents accidents, keeping things not too clustered with big trucks and trailers. But then, of course, folks like Dolly Rickman, who is one of our vendors, yes, you'll be parking trailers in the same exact spot as last year, and that'll work just fine.
Out by Lot D. Yep, out in Lot D. For the record, Lot C is literally a grass field. So I would just recommend sticking in Lot D there. So, oh my gosh, here's a good one. Oops, sorry.
Oh, I thought you were going to take that one. So, the Crown Hotel does have a shuttle. It prioritizes the airport first, but they will bring you over. And so again, there are different shuttle services. A lot of times, and there's other hotels that will shuttle as well. So we do know that some people that were staying at a couple of the nearby hotels, they would get some of the drivers to shuttle them over. And I never heard any of them paying for a ticket to get in for the event. I don't know if those drivers have a special agreement with the ticketing process or whatever. So that might be an option. However, if you're wanting to buy a bunch of gear on that day, obviously you'll need a vehicle of your own probably. So Yes. Thanks for bringing that up. I knew I was missing something. So Brian Ferris, Byron, not Brian, Byron, is going to be doing live creaming at the show again on some honey, and so you'll be able to see his lysin machine and work. A lot of people actually buy starter from him. So
I have some.
yeah, Chris has, and it's just a really really fine crystal, and it's honey. It's not some product that you buy. That's not actually honey. This is pure honey that you're getting, and it'll give you a nice smooth set. So stop by Byron Ferris's. It's called Ferris Farms in the event guide and on the website. All right. Yeah, Flower Street Farms. This is Brian. He's always in the group with Joey and Tom Sostman. And so, well, that actually makes you look like a bad dude, Brian. Sorry about that. But he's really not like the rest of those guys. He's an upstanding guy. He produces a lot of creamed honey. And so creamed honey is definitely here now. It is part of the present, and I think it's going to play a bigger role in beekeeping in the future. All right. So did anyone see the final score on Bama? Because I know they were getting spanked, and I was actually a little ticked off they made it into the playoffs because they played terrible all year long. Some people were like, well, as a fan, you shouldn't be that way about it.
It was 38-3.
You're good for them, honestly. Yeah, good for them because you play like that all season long, so inconsistent. I don't think you deserve to get in there. Now, do I think they were better than some of the other teams that they led in? I think so, but it just with Alabama, it just depends on which day it is. Indiana has a solid team, a very cohesive team. You can tell they really embody what a team's supposed to be like. And I really like Indiana. I hope the Hoosiers go the whole way and win a national championship.
Here we go. Now he's gonna wear a bunch of Hoosiers.
Hoosiers. Hey, at least it's not Purdue. And definitely not Notre Dame. Gosh.
Okay, we're good now.
All right. Moving onward. More questions.
We're divulging into college football. Yeah. We had more questions. Okay. Come back up. Here we go.
I wonder
got this.
Where is the Honey Show competition located?
I got this. Wait for
that. Is in room E3 and 4. But Chris will show you.
It is. Too many screens. So the Honey Show is here. Oh, it's not drawing a box.
That's not the right one, Chris.
What do you mean it's not the right one? It's right here where I'm highlighting.
Oh, that is the right one. Good job, Chris.
What are you looking at?
I'm not paying attention, okay?
So just as a quick aside, at midnight tonight, so my time, that's 3 hours and 45 minutes from now. I guess it's 3 hours and 45 minutes no matter where you're at, because I did say midnight EST. So you'll enter down here at the entrance, and you'll walk up, and we're actually going to have a really cool check-in right here. And that check-in will be for the Honey Show. So it will not be.
Is that closed down already? When is that closing down?
In 3 hours and 45 minutes from now.
Well, if you want to take advantage of that, you better do it.
I can post the link. How about I be a good person and post the link?
While you're doing that, I'm going to answer this question here.
Okay, do it.
Hey, James, no, there isn't a coat check. We've looked at it. The part of the problem is we don't have a good place to stick it. They're remodeling part of the expo, and we've looked into it. We did look into getting that done this year, and of course, a lot of people have offered the suggestion: why don't you just get a bunch of volunteers and do all that? Well, there's just so much liability. That's a room dedicated towards that. Those rooms aren't free. The staff that works hard for us, they expect their rooms, and some of them travel, and depends on what they're doing. So, these things aren't free. And we have looked into getting a service to do this, and it is not cheap as well. But we just don't have room this year. I don't know where we would stick it, even if we could do it, just because we have purchased everything that's available to us this year. And,
literally.
So there's just nowhere to stick it. So sorry, but we won't have that. Thankfully, the weather is supposed to be pretty agreeable as far as temperature. So knock on wood, that doesn't change. and we're looking at maybe an average of over 50 degrees for the event.
I do have to say one big caveat that a lot of people do, and again, no fault to you guys, but something people don't think about is like liability. Not only do we have the liability for just people in general, we have a queen marking class this year for a workshop that's sold out, unfortunately, for anyone interested in that right now. But everything comes with liability. So, when someone takes a coat,
one more piece of paper, Chris.
So if we take your coat, or our volunteer takes your coat, and your coat is made out of pure red fox, that's quite an expensive fur coat.
I really want that.
One of those. Yeah, my mother has one of those. My dad hooked her up.
Really?
So, it's actually it's a full muskrat coat. It's very soft, very very cool. We have a red fox bedspread.
Wow, ritzy.
It's pretty cool. It's very soft. Anyways, in all seriousness, the liability and the logistics of that are very, very difficult. So that plays a large part in this kind of thing. So
we looked at having a creamed honey workshop, and we're planning to do that. But the problem of it is it's so limiting. A lot of these hands-on workshops, we can only get 20 to 30 people in the room. And we've purchased all of the rooms. All the time slots are pretty much maxed out as well. And, even if we were able to get 100 people in, that's a drop in the bucket on the demand for these things. And so it's a very frustrating problem that we have. We get emails every couple of days telling us how we need to do a better job. I'm not saying that you're saying that, but we would love to be able to offer everything to everybody. The Creamed Honey Workshop, just bringing the machines in, all the setup. I did the math on it. I'm losing money on the workshops this year, and it's not like $500 or something like that. We aren't making money on those, and that's okay. Sometimes we invest into things like the youth program. A lot of that is donations, but about $5,000 to $6,000 is going to be shelled out by us this year for that, because we had more interesting and promising girls and boys this year than we've ever had in the past. And so, we feel like that's a good investment. So we're trying to navigate the whole workshop things, because a lot of the prices on those, say the mead workshop, there's a kit involved. I'm buying tarps to put, plastic to put down, or tables. I had to buy a whole nother audio visual set. I have to have a coordinator handling that during the show, and my brother's doing it, and he doesn't like to work for free, the bum, and I would never ask him to. And so,
well, as long as you don't put all of that equipment after the expo inside of a barn and burn it down, we should be good then.
Oh yeah, that's a nice little reference to the past there. Points, Chris.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, nobody would do something that stupid.
Lisa, to answer your question, first of all, we always say this, but Lisa, I love Hogsmeade. That's your profile photo down there for anyone who's uneducated on that one. Some butterbeer.
And thanks for being one of our members, Lisa.
Yeah. So the Skywalk, I can't unlock the doors, but I have been told and promised that on Thursday it will be open. Sure. I will do my darndest to make sure it's open. That's all the farther I can promise it. But in all seriousness, I was told it will be open Thursday and Friday and Saturday.
One issue with the Skywalk is it does come behind our check-in process. So on Thursday, it would really be better if everyone did not use the Skywalk. And the parking is a little further away. There will be some closer parking up towards the front. If you want to use it for other things, that's fine. But we would ask that we don't have people not sneaking, but they're coming from a totally different direction. And that's really going to cause some issues for our staff.
We have a lot of people applying then, if that's the rationale we go by.
Yeah,
we got a lot of people.
We've got about 300 people ready to work.
Hold on, someone asked a question I want to get to. Okay.
For those needing it, will there be a forklift service available? Only if the company, let's say you're buying from Dadent or Bob Benny or whoever, they need to reach out, and I mean now. if you're buying 10 pallets of
4
gear
weeks
from
ago.
them, yeah, they really need to be 4 weeks ago. They never do it though. Um, that is being operated by Hilco. Hilco is graciously offering that to other vendors as just a thing that I asked John for that favor, and John said that he would do it in exchange for being able to have certain spaces and other things. And there's a lot of deals that work like that. And so, some people say, well, Hilco seems to have the biggest booth and do really good at the show and a few other things. Well, John's the most ambitious vendor that we have. He also brings the most value to our show. And it's funny how that works. We have a lot of other great companies too, and not everybody is out to do the same thing. But that forklift I don't want people coming up day of and going, hey, I need a forklift. I know that's a little bit of a pain in the rear, but we have to be considerate of John. So if you are serious about getting something that needs to be on a forklift and you need it, call the company that you're getting the product from and say, hey, reach out to Chris or Jake Osborne or whoever and lock us in for a forklift on Friday at 5:30 p.m. or whatever it is, because we are not going to be taking orders for forklifts at the show. We just can't handle all that stuff.
You just can't. I just leave it. I can't handle it.
Can't handle it.
We can't handle it.
Right. And we've
has
emailed these companies for a while, so they've had plenty of forewarning to do those things.
John, so we've discussed something like this. This year, we have decided to just leave everything at the expo. Now, I will say though that Andrea, who is our coordinator for the silent auction, doing awesome as well. Is a great coordinator for us. She's going to be posting on Facebook some of the things upcoming that are being done. It will not be an exhaustive list, but it's certainly going to be some highlights of some photos that she has. Our concern again is like liability. It's shipping. If we allow people to order online, it's also people who could potentially bid up people online, and there's a lot of extra stuff. So it is a lot of extra work to put everything online.
Yeah, we're trying to make it as easy for everybody as possible. Unfortunately, a lot of times there's just no easy solution. You just got to kind of throw manpower at it and make sure you feed them well, so they'll hopefully come back and volunteer again.
Yeah, must be present. Yes, yeah, definitely must be present. Yes.
Yes, must be present, or the next person will get it. Our wheeled carts with honey.
Cayman.
What?
Say, go ahead and answer this one, Cayman.
So wheeled carts for the honey show entries and for the show can be used, but it has to be proper carts. It can't be any dollies, any big wheel, no wheelbarrows, nothing like that. We're talking like something that.
Who's bringing a wheelbarrow in the front door?
I'm being facetious, Chris.
Just
so you see those little wagons that have like the little rubber tires and they kind of fold out and stuff like that. That's the kind of stuff that you're allowed to use at the show. But they're everything's really soft with them. They don't want anything beating up the doors, and we will have people at the doors ensuring that that's not going to be in the lobby. So you can have things in the trade show, but you can't wheel it through the lobby. So stuff for the honey show is the same way. You need to have lighter carts that you can use for that.
So a lot of people have been asked, skid steer, and right. People are asking about if they're coming to check in and want to go to the honey show, are they allowed to bring those type of carts through the front doors into the front lobby to the honey show? That's what this question is.
Yeah, well, I mean, for the honey show, yes, you can, but it just needs to be the proper type of cart. You can't be having a heavy wooden cart or metal cart or anything like that. It's got to be pretty soft and, your typical stuff that you would take to like, Disney World. Not that I've ever been, but Chris has been. Something like a theme park, a small show, not something you use.
No ride-on coolers either.
Yeah.
Something to note, if you are bringing coolers in, the largest reason why you can't bring anything through the front lobby. So just please don't ruin it for those people. Is the fact that people hammer the, by hammer I mean like run over and break the threshold of the door, as well as bang the heck out of the door, dent it, scratch it, or worst case break the glass. So if you are bringing stuff in for the honey show, please be courteous of the threshold of the door and of the glass. So when you're coming through, just please be courteous of that.
All right, so getting to some more questions. Oh, goodness gracious here. There's a lot of other things going on too. These are just the main events. There's a lot of vendors that have hands-on activities. Some of that's in the app. Some of that, you just have to some of them don't advertise hardly at all. But, they also are only looking to have 20 people at a time at their booth when it happens. Oh, for those of you.
Go ahead.
Say what?
Go ahead. I was going to show everyone this, but go ahead.
No, don't do that. I want to do this. All right. Whoops. I did not mean to do that.
Oh, my goodness.
All right. So anyone who's wanting to get a book signed at the show, you'll need to purchase a book first. And that will be at the Bee Supply booth. There will be some at my merch booth, but I would prefer you go to the Bee Supply because it's just more work for my team. It's the same price at both of them. Give them the logistics. Do me a favor. Do my wife a favor, which by default does me favors. Thank you. This book is really focused on everything that Blake Shook and I have learned over the last 20-something years. He started, I think, around 12. I started at 14. We've been doing this in different places and in different capacities. Blake is a commercial beekeeper that runs tens of thousands of hives. He's also run lesser colonies in his teens, and he really, I think, is a good teacher, and that's why I agreed to do the book with him. And then what I bring to it, well, humor, good look for the cover, the back cover anyways. I guess it is the back cover. Look at that photo right there. And ultimately, what we're wanting to do is help give a lot of tips and tricks that we've discovered on how to mix feed ratios better, to be able to prevent varroa, not just by using miticides, but also making some time splits, tips on how to catch swarms in this book, how to split bees, multiple ways on how to split bees, how to introduce queens. A lot of nuance in this book, which is not normal for your beginner books. If you're a beginner beekeeper, this has a lot of good information for you, but this has definitely got a lot of information beyond that as well. But it's written, I think, in a way that it breaks it down and just answers the questions really straightforward. Well, if you go up to Laurel, she'll probably sign it, but she's going to talk to me about how she was really nervous and didn't want to do that. And so, yeah, Jed probably has a few things to say about some of the things I made mistakes on years ago. But funny enough, Jed doesn't keep bees anymore. So
funny how that works.
You can't be an expert if you don't have bees, Jed.
At this point, Jed is a bee-haver, not a beekeeper.
Oh, he doesn't even have.
Well, I'm sure there's one in a tree nearby.
He was a bee was. But he can make some pretty good stuff, When life gives you a stainless, you weld it, I suppose. All jokes aside, several of my buddies know some crazy stuff that I've done, and but that's how. Yeah, there you go. What are you gonna do about it, Jed? What are you gonna do? You're up in Wisconsin.
Eat some cheese.
So it's not worth more with the autograph. We're actually giving $1 to everyone who allows us to deface the book. No joke. That is part of it. We're going to have dollar bills. So if you let us autograph it, and we're only doing it for an hour at 12, from 12 to 1. Now, if you catch us at a different time with the book, if we can, we will sign it then too. But we're going to have a specific signing at 12 to 1 on Friday after our roundtable discussion. That will be in room B103 after our roundtable discussion. Blake, myself, Bob Benny, and Josh Hager. And that's going to be a really fun discussion, so I hope that you join us for that. And then we'll have the book signing immediately afterwards. But the book is like 400 pages or there or really close to it. And it also lays out different things that you might be seeing in your bees, but don't know what it is. We have in the back pictures of viruses and stuff and what they can look like. And so it can be also be an identification book. We've tried to make this useful and straightforward and just be really easy to go as a reference book in the future. After you read it, you're like, I don't need to read it again. Easy to look up all the stuff. So Blake was the one who started the project and then invited me in on it about a year and a half ago. And I really do appreciate Blake doing that. And but anyone who gets it, I hope that you enjoy it. We are thinking about autographing some of the books before we get there. If we can find the time, I will say it probably won't be a bunch. Blake is, yeah, there's no way he can be busier than I am, but he's really busy. Pick up the pre-ordered books will be at the Bee Supply. That will not be at my merch booth. And the Bee Supply is up towards the front of the trade show this year. So I can't remember what booth it is. Is it like 800, something like that?
Their booth? Yes, it is 800. Sorry.
Okay, their booth is 800. Just right inside the right-hand sides of the doors to the trade show. Yep. So super easy to get access to. If you've pre-ordered the book, that's where you can get it from. And honestly, I'll be speaking at other shows too, so maybe you can catch me there if you don't get me at the show. But it's an autograph, and my autograph is really not worth anything. And when Blake mentioned about doing the signing, I said, well, I think it makes the book worth less. So why don't we give people $1 for allowing us to deface it? And he's like, that is the craziest thing I've ever heard. Let's do it. So I may not provide the most brilliant of ideas, but unique ideas. Yes.
Here, I want to segue just for just a second here. So we were talking a little bit about the app. So you can kind of see some behind the scenes here. I don't think I'm really showing anything I shouldn't, but so in the app, it doesn't even give me a number. These are meetups that have been created by the community. And I know that because Cayman and I have not created any meetups. And so this is the awesome thing. So I just want to go through just a couple of them. I'm not going to really touch on one or the other, but there's meetups from vendors. There's meetups from groups. So Hives for Heroes Night, the Beaks and Brews. And again, I'm not going to touch on them all, but just kind of scrolling. There's all these different photos and state photos and micro honey harvester, the No Life Beekeeping Dinner, Michigan Beekeepers. And I just want to scroll all the way down here to the, as a runner, the one that really threw me for a loop, because I sure as heck am not going to wake up on Thursday at 5:30 in the morning, Jack, giving Ohio people crazy ideas here. 5:30 in the morning for a morning run. But in all seriousness, though, if you're not on Hova yet, the app is amazing. There's lots of things. This is our first year with it. There's plenty of improvement we're going to do. So please go on out, check this out. Again, the best part is that you are able to go in here and schedule things you want to see, schedule things you want to go to, and the app is going to remind you. And some of the larger things that occur throughout the day, I'm going to be sending out notifications on the app only. And so you're not going to be able to get any of those unless you're on the app. And lastly, there are several companies who are doing giveaways that are only on the app. So you will only be able to register for them, know that they're even happening, only if you're on the app. So the app is free, Free, if you are an attendee and have a ticket. So,
and we're going to be using it the next year too. So the more you get familiarized with this year, the easier it's going to be for you to do it next year. And for vendors, you are missing an opportunity if you're not doing the app. I think there's a lot of vendors at our show that are not fully utilizing the opportunities, and some of them just don't care. And I know they don't, and that's fine. But for the ones that do, don't complain as you see them grow each year and take over more of the show.
I do want to say, somebody mentioned early on, Hova has the ability to put a unique QR code on every single person's name tag. We are not doing that. I don't want to confuse people. The QR code on our name tag is for Larabi's, who has sponsored the name tags and the lanyards. But Hova does have the possibility for vendors to be able to capture information and have attendees be able to directly contact vendors and be able to bridge that gap. And as a vendor, what's better than building your base of people who can buy from you? I don't know many other things that are better than that. So definitely something to watch.
And this just reminded me, the workshops aren't recorded. People are paying for these, and they wouldn't look very good recorded. I've sat in on some of them. It's a lot of hands-on, and so some people have never used a microscope before. And so there's really, here's how you do this, and you can't see it. Someone would have to be literally getting up close and showcasing that, and we could do that, but that's going to cost us $10,000. And we're
literally, you're not joking. I just want people to know that
$10,000. And so that's going to make them expensive. And this is the workshops should be people are going to pay a premium price for it. They need to get a good personal experience and be able to have the time they need to be able to do their stuff without any interruptions. So the workshops are a totally different beast than the 30 hours of lectures everyone else will get to attend. And there have been some people get that confused that they think that the main lectures are an additional fee, which is not the case. That comes with the ticket. So, and those are going to be recorded, and you will get that. And, they could be sponsored. We've never looked at having a workshop sponsor, to my knowledge. I guess
there's always next year.
I haven't really thought of it. But there was a few things we didn't get sponsored this year, and we need to do a better job on our end trying to get energy from outside of the industry. Now, some of you may not like that because we're going to look a little bit like NASCAR if we do a good job of it. Because, what if someone like Ford, or what if somebody like Kubota, if we could get them to do a $5,000 sponsorship, that's going to really help us be able to invest more. And that's typically what we're doing. It's like Dayton sponsored something they've never done before. We were able to do the popcorn this year for everybody.
Yep.
And so, and the Honey Bar, and Naroa and several of the other guys did stuff that they've never done before. So we were able to add the Honey Bar. We're still not breaking even on the Honey Bar, not even close, but it makes it to where we can do more within a year's time span. Instead of just adding one thing, maybe we can add 3 things in a year. And so we're going to try to be a little bit more creative about adding some of that stuff, but we also don't want to take away and be too commercialized as well. So we're just trying to, and we're also learning as we go. So,
here I want to touch on this too much, and I'm not picking on Jennifer here on this directly, but one thing that we talk a lot about, and you guys probably maybe think of this or maybe not, but a lot of YouTubers are out there. A lot of our speakers are out there on YouTube as well. And so our expo is centered around capturing things that aren't on YouTube specifically. And something like this, I'll kind of throw a bone to Gus. Unfortunately, Gus hasn't posted in a long time. We really hope Gus comes back because he has some awesome nuggets. But if you go over, I know for a fact that he has some awesome cut comb.
He probably has a lot of that
videos.
Information in some YouTube videos. Yeah.
And I know Cayman's done some as well. And so
everything on cut comb, I mostly learned kind of from Gus though. So,
by saying this, I'm not saying the workshops aren't worth it. What I'm getting, and I understand why you might want to re-see it or rehear it, what you saw in class. But the workshops that we have, our goal is that they are to experience it, to put the phone down and experience it, where you can just watch Gus talk about how awesome it is to cut comb and how and why and everything. So and came and see, look, I'm not the only person saying that we should have like a too long
Don't let Laurel see that, the Devoted Honey Company. Well, that's part of the reason we're gearing the bee business back. We're just going to gear it down to like a fourth to a fifth of the size. And we're going to be focusing more on this conference. It's taken me a while to mentally get there. I've always wanted to be a professional beekeeper. And so to step away from that has been really kind of hard for me, because that's just not been my goals, and it's kind of a pride thing mostly. And but I'm past that point. I think I sometimes I kind of go through spurts again, where I want to get back into it. I'm like, no, that's not what's best for the bee industry. I'm not just the conference. We're doing a lot of stuff for the bee industry on the back end. No one knows what we're doing. And it's not even Expo related. It's just working with people outside of it, consulting. There's a lot of work that needs to be done. There's not enough people doing it. And so we feel like we should, if we have the opportunity, because I feel like there's other people that could do something that are choosing not to. And so if they won't, then we could just say the same thing, like, somebody needs to do that, but not us. Somebody else does, though. So we want to be active. We want to help grow this industry and help. And workshops is a good one. So maybe next year, if the Crown has all that meeting space, Chris, we could just do it in the hotel. Like the few days.
What are we doing in the hotel?
We could do like workshops in the hotel a few days before the expo starts.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, we're bringing in a truckload of bees, so.
Well, and they'll never know. Their communication is so slow. By the time the person at the hotel saw it, took the time to send an email to somebody who lost it, and then finds it 3 weeks later, and then gets it to their boss, it'll just have disappeared into the ethos, and that's the way all the rest of the stuff seems to work. All right.
I don't disagree with you.
Let's see. More questions. I'm just sorting through them right now in my brain.
Your mom's asking me questions. I'm trying.
Oh, no. Mom has been doing some awesome work for the next gen. She's got all the bags and the T-shirts. The T-shirts came out awesome and crisp. And also the hotel reimbursement for the families that are coming to help them be able to attend this year. Okay. Last year there was a category 7 for infused honey hot. This year only see H5 category infused honey, non-spicy. Is there not a spicy category this year? So that is a question for them, honestly, to answer, because that's really not our territory. Like, we pretty much say, here's what we can afford to invest into it and take it from here when we put it on the website. Now, I've been told that people have brought honeys that are so hot that they're not able to judge correctly. It's just so hot, all they can taste is fire, is what they tell me. So I don't like spicy foods. I can't even begin to tell you how to even judge that. So as of this point, I think that's the case. Is they've toned it down. They've told me they want to be able to taste the honey and not just the heat.
Yes, that's what I heard as well. So, and we're working with.
I think it's $35 for the book. I think I forgot to mention that earlier.
I don't judge anything, but yeah. And we're working with the honey judges to try to come up with a better way to communicate what has changed from year to year. You know, they too listen to what people are saying or what their judges are saying, and so, you know, that's part of the give and take. You know, last year we had the for those who pay attention, the very infamous 3D printing debacle. And I'm not laughing at people's expense. I'm laughing because while I didn't design anything, I went through it with the rest of them.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is, the honey show is something that Cayman and I have our eyes set straight on, and we'll be definitely addressing come the new year. So.
Yep, that is the app.
Listen, Gus isn't making videos currently, but Gus's videos are not the Cayman's are like bad, or anyone else's are bad, but Gus, the reason Gus's popularity kind of YouTube shot straight up. Gus does things different than anyone else on YouTube, and there's a lot of great nuggets in there. So if you haven't watched Gus's stuff, definitely check it out. Yep, they emailed me. I'm gonna help them right now. So
yep, if you need help with that, email Chris.
So just so everybody knows, the reason we're not giving out like publicly the code is because once that code is out, there's no way to stop it.
Well, that's a problem.
And
We posted on YouTube. I got 80,000 subscribers,
yep,
and we
yep.
only have
So
a certain amount of codes.
the A, that, and B, we want to make sure that, I just as a super easy example, I saw one of the first people posted in one of the group community messages were young women beekeepers trying to talk about what's going on. And can you imagine a world where young women beekeepers have AI spam bots and chat bots and everything going after God knows what? So we have been very fortunate so far to keep the stuff off the app. So that's what we're trying to do. So if you have issues with the app, please email me.
Let's see here. Yeah, maybe meet over by the Kentucky State Beekeepers Association booth, which is really close to the Step and Repeats that has all the cool logos and stuff on it. And that's where most people take their photos. It's just a short walk. You can see it from their booth. Maybe planning a meetup like that would be kind of cool. So Gus is just doing a workshop. That's all he wants to do. We've asked him to be a speaker. He wants to do a workshop, and that's it. And so, we're thankful to have him in that capacity, and that's all we're going to do at this point. No, none of the shirts will be pocket tees. We just haven't ever looked into doing those. For the conference T-shirt, we're trying to produce a shirt that the majority of people will want. And so, unfortunately, that really limits our options. I really like this idea, Chris. UPS. Let me get Corey on that. We get the UPS Bee Expo. If they drop, $200 grand, we'll do that.
He's been watching from.
Uh-oh. Well,
listen,
we didn't say
listen, we're talking you up over here, Gus.
No, don't listen to anything Chris says. I don't.
Hold on. I have to say that one of my favorite memories, if you're new to the Expo and you have never come back, never been before, I had the privilege my first year. I didn't know anyone. Nobody. I sat down and I had Gus and Billy Joe next to me. And they convinced me that they were brothers. And that caused some psychological problems that I still have today. Those two are a hoot. I have that. It came and I have this. There it is.
The trade show is in South Wing A. You check in at the North Wing lobby. The workshops and the honey show is in the E room. So that's E1, E2, E3, and E4. And all your lectures are in like the B100, B103, B105.
Good job. Yeah. So we primarily use the East Wing and we use South Wing A. We technically use a little bit of the North Wing lobby, but our area is right here. That's our area. So
let's see. Wow, getting some really good comments for Gus. He's getting better comments than I get on my talks, and this is getting annoying. Like I did a talk last year. I haven't got any type of praise like that, and that's why I'm not doing it this year. I'm just like, no one wants me anymore. It's just,
oh jeez.
It's just, it's kind of hard.
Can't take you anywhere.
No. All I need is Laurel for her to say you did good, and then I just 15 years, and I've gotten told. She has come up to me and said, "I'm sorry, you were right 2 times," and I just couldn't believe it. The first time I thought I was hearing things, and the second time I'm like, maybe I am actually like one of those amazing men that somehow is just able to be right.
That's until you burn your eyebrows off opening the grill. So
hey, they did not burn off. You've said it more than twice? Well, that's the only time I've heard it. Now I know that you love me, but there's a difference between going, "You were right." I mean, how often am I right and you're not? This? Well, that was one of the times. I know. That was one of those times. Was I wrong to do this?
This discussion? Yes. Yes.
Moving on. So you need to stop listening to these chats. It's not good. I'm tired. Yeah, I just got a haircut yesterday. They always cut it really short, and I've gotten the same haircut for 20 something years, pretty much. And then I like to get it cut about a week before the show, and that way it won't be quite so short. Laurel hates it when they butcher it this low to the scalp because she says it makes my ears stand out. Save yourself. It's too late, Rod. Go. Just leave me. It's too late.
Here, real quick, somebody is asking here. I'll go back. So, in the past, we've had the line extend over here to West Hall. So that it comes all the way around here and all the way down here. I don't want to say it wrapped West Hall, but it was pretty close, though. It was about middle there. But I will say, and I will brag on the team, our team. This isn't Cayman and I doing this work. It's our team. We do typically, like the initial rush is usually about 1,500 people on average. And we're usually able to do that in a half hour. I mean, and I'm going to start saying an hour and a half, and this is going to be real funny. No, we're able to get those. And you'd say, oh, that's a long time. But that's the last person in the line. So by the time that person even walks that far, it's a 5 to 10 minute walk anyways. So, yeah, I mean, the line really does move fast. So, great question.
So that 12:30 is when the doors open. Now, a lot of beekeepers, especially if the weather is semi-agreeable, heck, they show up even if it's not agreeable. I've seen them out there and it's like 39 degrees and a little bit of a breeze, and they're out there. It's a quarter mile long. Now, we do get that line in super quick because we throw dozens of people at it, and I think we have a pretty good system. Laurel and the team and all of us have chipped in, and it seems to have worked really good. And so we plan to do that again this year. But there's no reason to stand out in that line if you just don't feel like it, or if it is a little bit cool, stay in your car and just watch as the people who are in the line, go towards the door really quickly once it gets going. But 12:30 is when the doors open. But there's some people that just wait in their vehicles until the line's down to about, after about 20 minutes or so. And then you just, buzz right on in.
Yep.
Now,
and go ahead. I know. Go ahead. You can say it. I was going to say it, but you can say it.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, for those individuals who are a part of the Honey Show judging course, and there are 2 workshops, both of them microscopy classes. One is with Kara Ching. One is with Robin Underwood. Those 3 classes are all beginning before 12:30. You are definitely allowed. Again, you have to be on the list. So you can come up and say you're on the list, but we will check that. If you're on the list for those classes, you can totally come up early, walk right in. We'll have someone to check you in. You get your bag, everything else. You get to your workshop room. And then again, I did post it. I'll post it again right now. Our pre-registration for the Honey Show goes until midnight tonight, Eastern time, my time, the best time. And if you are interested in coming in a little early for that, you can register. You have to be registered. That gets you in the doors starting at 11 a.m. instead of 12:30. Now, just words of wisdom on that. That is just to register your honey. The trade show isn't open. The silent auction isn't open. The honey bars, nothing else is open other than you getting into the doors. Yeah, so Matt's asking sessions before that. So we do have some paid workshops that start before that, but the general doors open at 12:30, and go from there.
Yep, and that's how we were able to add a few more. Alfred E. Newman. So notice, Chris, how I'm starting to grow a beard here, right?
Yeah. Yeah. What's it gonna last till 9 o'clock your time?
Yeah. So I actually Laurel's like, go shave that thing, and
Laurel's gonna come in while you're live and shit.
feel like Bugs Bunny with the straight razor on Elmer Fudd.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. Just start whacking it off. Now the thing about right here though, I didn't have a lot of time before this started. And I thought, you know what, I need to not look quite as bad, so I trimmed it up, and now I'm kind of looking like a short, more muscular Blake Shook, and with a lot less style. I don't have the fancy duds that he always wears to the show. No peacock leather boots.
John's asking here, Hova. They're talking about vendor that starts before check-in times. I don't know what that. I think there's a small typo. Oh, demos. Well, if a vendor so the trade show opens on Thursday at 12:30. On Friday and Saturday, the trade show opens at 8:30. So it's possible that the vendor got it confused and they meant to do a Friday or Saturday, or it's possible maybe you got that confused. But either way, though, on Thursday the trade show does not open until 12:30. I'm assuming this is Melissa since she's the better half. I am sending them off. Tomorrow morning. I am not staying up till 12:01 to send emails.
Nope.
This morning, that was my my soul needed a nice walk in the snow, in the Ohio snow last night after the Buckeyes took one on the chin. So I'm gonna get some sleep tonight. So okay. Well, guess what? I know it's not Melissa because it's. Oh yes.
I want to say a thanks to our app sponsors. Anyone who's enjoying the app, maybe look at these app sponsors, find their booths, and say thanks, because this is a massive expense for us.
This app ain't free. That's what you're trying to say.
It is not. And that we calculated that, maybe because Chris really wanted it. Chris was basically begging. He's like, Cayman, please. And I was like, man, I've just
only one knee though.
Oh gosh,
it wasn't two knees.
Yeah. And so we had just brought Chris on, which, is an expense as well. It was a good investment is the way I look at it, though. Really not an expense. But you can't just spend money on everything. As much fun as it would like to be to have all the coolest signs hanging from the ceiling and floor stickers all over the place and everything. Conference stuff, it's expensive. And if you're not careful, you can lose money, really.
Overextend.
And so we want to be sustainable and be smart with it. We also want to invest into the things that are going to bring the most value to you guys. Chris pitched it well, though. He said, Cayman, please. And then he went, hey, it's going to help make it easier for people to pick their schedules, and it'll make it better on the attendees. It'll make some of the work better on my end, which, is time is money too. And so ultimately it's been great, but we were also banking that, hey, maybe we could get a handful of companies to help us with this. And Vidalia Apicultural Services, Veroxan, the Hive Tracker Company, also Ultra Breeze, which is at the Happy Acre booth, and Pureco, which is booth 324. They have, is there one more?
Yeah, I'm counting. Yeah. So
no, I made it all the way around the carousel. I did a good job. Woohoo!
Pureco, Vidalia, Ultra Breeze, Be Mindful,
Vita
Bee Health, and Hive Tracker. It's okay.
And Be Mindful, and they do top bar hives and various things of that nature. And so, thank you to all those groups for helping bring the app to folks. And
go ahead.
And so be sure to meet them and tell them that you appreciate the app. It is really cool. There's several different events. It does take some time to find some things in here, but if you're just sitting around, maybe you're waiting to go for a checkup or a dental appointment or whatever, you're sitting in there, fiddle around with the app. and see what's going on. And then definitely look at the agenda, and you can hit add to your agenda. So right here, come on,
Yeah.
go over here.
Show what happens when you click it. Show what happens when you click it. Yeah.
It says you are attending another session at the same time. Would you like to add anyways?
I'm glad it knows that you're speaking at 2 o'clock.
Oh, well, I guess since I'm speaking, I can't attend that one. Dadgummit, who scheduled this?
But I was just gonna say what Cayman was getting at on not only can you come up with your own sketch. This is like a comedy session. Not only can you come up with that, but when you click in, you can add notes. You can add. There's a live polling. You can ask questions. Now here's the caveat. You know somebody, and I'm sure he wouldn't be angry at me, but someone like Bob Benny. Bob Benny is not going to sit on his phone and answer Q&A questions. But the individual who is helping with that session, they're going to do their best to look through the Q&A, to cultivate, some questions and be able to do that. So the app really is just my home screen. The app really is a great way to interact with the speakers, as well as the fact that if you go to attendees and maybe you met somebody, you met I just scrolled by. You met Billy Joe, and you want
to ban them so you never have to see them again.
And you want to connect with them. You can click say hi, and you can connect with them. So we hope people will use that for all the best reasons. As this conference, again, as Cayman said, we're going to have at least 500 more people there than we have ever had. And as anybody who has ever come before will say, the people and the friendships and the connections are at least half of the positives of the expo. So please use the app to the best of its abilities, please.
For sure. And look through this. There's several great talks, and you can click them. And this one says Randy Oliver. You can even ask questions on these. So if the speaker wants, they can read those questions. Let's say it's a question for the speaker. Some of the speakers will utilize this. Some of them, like Bob Benny, doesn't even know what texting is yet.
You weren't listening. I've literally said word for word what you're saying.
Okay, I'm sorry. I was lost in La La Land. Now, however, for my
you're my favorite.
For my panel discussions that I'm on, Chris, I want you to help me make sure that I actually remember to use that.
Oh, don't worry, I can do that.
I know you will. But
I'm gonna sit in the back and be the heckler in the back.
But for the folks that don't use the app or don't want to do it on there, we still will have a way to ask questions, and that usually is a box that we have on the stage with some. You can bring some paper, or we'll have some paper on the stage. Hey, Cayman, what's your favorite type of split? Write that down, put it in there, and we'll get a bunch of those, and we'll go through them. And if we've had 3 on splitting, we'll probably put that as a low priority to answer, and we'll move on to one about how to requeen a colony or something like that when a hive is been queenless for a while, and just various things like that. But the panel discussions are a lot of fun. A lot of the speakers have already commented. The questions have already been asked. Cayman is no. This is all mine. Chris is just kind of an arbiter, so to speak. You have Sauron, and then you have the voice of Sauron. We had to do a Lord of the Rings reference.
Where's David Peck at when we need him?
Yeah, David Peck would approve of the Lord of the Rings. All
right, it's been over 2 hours. We need to rest your voice. I'm going to be the bad guy.
Yeah, no, I really need to get off of here. My voice is already... I think I figured it out, everybody. When I'm just under a lot of pressure, and there is some talking that leads up to this, but I've done a lot better the last couple of years. And because a lot of it's because Chris has helped me by talking to the vendors and managing a lot of the stuff. I'm not on the phone as much as I used to be in December and November, and I've done a lot better. But when I'm stressed out, and we're doing better than we've ever before, it's just I know the impending time frame that we have, and there's just always a lot of little things, and everyone's asking questions. We're trying to be all things to all people, which is part of the problem, I guess I have. It just goes to my voice box. I don't know why. I haven't talked that much today outside of this live chat. I haven't been on the phone. I really didn't do much yesterday. And I've been trying to do good all month. At Christmas, I even was pretty sober, like in the sense of not being overly rambunctious and talkative and my annoyingly joking self that my family usually expects. I had a few of them worried I was sick. They're like, he acts sane. But I think it's just that. And so I do eat honey, quite a bit of honey. It doesn't seem to work. So hopefully I'll have a voice at the show. But I hope you guys have got your questions answered. We will be sending you more emails. We have sent you emails. We'll be sending you more. So please be checking your email every couple days. Because we might send one to you tomorrow. I'm not saying we're going to send one every day, but just check it every couple of days. Look in your spam, look in your promotions. And ultimately, come looking forward to having a great time, because we're doing all this work so that this event will be spectacular for you all. We definitely have fun in our own way too. For me, having fun is overall the vendors and everybody going, man, this was fun. This was great. And this is a good thing. And so that will be very fulfilling for us. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Yes, my brother Hayden would enjoy. Hey, Judah. Good to meet you, young man. My Air Force brother would like this haircut. I wish Hayden could come. We are going to get him there one of these days. Maybe you guys saw him on my Facebook. He was mostly at his back turn, but we're very proud of him. He's serving. I think he's moving now to a station right outside of Las Vegas.
Is it classified? Okay.
It's not classified this time. And he's just a hard worker, and he's a good person. And obviously we need good people in the military like that. Yep. So
yes,
very proud of him. And, there's a lot of people at the show in the military as well. We really appreciate those folks as well. A lot of people in beekeeping that have been in the military in some capacity. Area 51. He was really hoping to get that job, but unfortunately, he was too boring, they said. Yeah.
They knew his brother's too big of a loudmouth to keep the secret.
That's exactly right. They were afraid I'd get the information, spilled beans, because I can't keep a secret. All right. Good night, everybody. I hope that thanks for joining us on the first day of the year. This is going to be, just like always, another crazy year, and not just the Bee Expo, beekeeping. I hope that you'll stick around and spend a lot of time with us, because we want to hear from you, and it'll help guide us on how we change the business going forward. The business is, because we have a lot of plans. We want to hear what you think, and we'll see you in the next video.